Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. You're watching Jana FX, and in this video I'm going to make technical analysis for the coming week. We will look at main pairs, important levels and areas, and I want to explain how to use my charts because in the previous video, remember I announced that I created some groups which you can find Facebook, Jana FX, and it's also Telegram, and for Russian speakers it's in Contact. So you can find the links under this video in the description box, and of course you can join the groups and follow my strategy during the week. Every day I'm posting screenshots with the highlighted areas where I wait for consolidation. So I want to explain a little bit how to use it, and if you first time watching this video, then probably you better to see how I use a channel system trading, which in old videos it was for 15 minutes time frame. Right now the time frame changed, but the strategy is still the same. I'm waiting for consolidations and good channels, and I'm placing the pending orders, buy stop and sell stop, in distance 20 pips above and below the borders of the channel, which I will try to explain to you a little bit in this video. I do not provide proper signals because everyone has different account sizes, you have different money management, you also in different time zones, and using stops, stop losses is also will be different. I have two ways of using stops. I trade sometimes with stops, sometimes without the stops, and because I have also the strategies how I reduce the risks and how I'm trying to get out from the losing trades, or how I cover the stop losses. Okay, so at this moment I'm using trying to use two EAs. The one is a line trader, as you know. You asked me a lot about it. At some point it will be available, but not just yet. And I also testing right now, because everything is in test right now. I'm having the other EA which I'm trying to use to cover the losses. Okay, so if you get in the bad trade, how to cover the losses. Later on, of course, I will explain what the systems I'm using and how I use the EAs, how they work. We will see just a little bit more testing, and I will also announce it, of course, in this on this channel in this video. So you need to subscribe, and of course in my groups. Okay, so it's all will be right now. It's all testing, and also you can see and test my technical analysis for each new trading day. So let's start with a little bit more with euro dollar, and see how I was giving you the areas and how you're supposed to use it. Well, let's say how I use it, okay, and how you can. It's up to you. Like I'm saying, all the decisions, it's all information I'm giving you is in educational purposes, and all the decisions you have to make for yourself. I don't want responsible for any of profits or losses you're going to make. It's all up to you. So I'm only sharing with you the way I see it and how I do it. So we're starting with euro dollar, and I gave you on Monday this screenshot, right? As you remember, who followed. So you see, I'm not going to give the screenshots for Mondays because we're doing this technical analysis on the weekend, which I always try to post it on Saturdays, could be sometimes on Sundays, so you would know what the areas levels I'm looking for at the beginning of the market opens on Monday. Usually, you know, I don't like to trade on Mondays, so that's why my screenshots usually starts from Monday evening, okay, for the Tuesday, and then every day if I see it. I will go through all the pairs, so you will see more details how I was looking at it and making entry points, looking for entry points. Okay, so this is the you see on Monday the consolidation I was telling you, possibly waiting consolidation around the level, and you see nothing happened on Monday. But in the evening I gave you this screenshot where I was expecting market broke a little bit level, right, and started to consolidate underneath it. So that's why I highlighted the area, expecting that. So we're looking at, so I was looking at it already end of the day, right? So, well, sometime after all the movements major in GMT, roughly it's after like 3-4 o'clock, if there are no big news on for euro or dollar, right? Or pound also, right? So the pairs we're trading like Australian dollar, yen. So right now it's euro dollar. So of course, if there are no news for euro dollar, so usually quite a lot of movements finishes after, depends, 4 GMT roughly, right? So in the evening, let's say, so I'm looking into the next day. So it's the same strategy, like I'm saying, looking on opening of the market, European sessions. Okay, so looking for sessions, European session, London session. European session opened slightly before London. European banks, some will open 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. and London sessions around that time. So usually I would look for consolidation, let's say before 6 a.m. in the morning. But again, that's what I'm saying. It's roughly, I'm giving you these areas because depends where I am also, in what part of the world, which part of the world that you are, what you can watch and what you can follow and do. It all depends where you are. That's why sometimes market can move at 2 a.m. okay, during Asian and Australian session. Sometimes it can move at 4 a.m. but usually the main rule I look is before 6 a.m. okay, roughly 5:30, maybe 6 a.m. GMT, plus minus. Remember about time zones changing time. So that's what, first of all, you see, that's why if we will have some consolidation before the time, so that's where I would place my pending orders, right? Buy, so I count 20 pips above, right? And that would be my pending order buy. A stop, okay, buy stop. So, and I'm counting 40 pips down, it will be pending order sell stop, okay? So buy stop and sell stop. And as usual, remember, like I'm saying with stops, it would be taking 10 pips profit and then move stop into safe position. Usually I place in 0, right, in the entry point. So I moved, let's say, 20 pips, right, got me into the trade. Another 10 pips I'm in the trade, I'm closing half positions, and I move the stop in that 20 pips distance. So if the market turns around, I come out with some profit and 0 stop on the second part of the trade. If it will continue the way, perfect, then I will move stop behind or place trailing stop. So that's the different ways of doing it. That's why I'm saying it's all up to you, what you prefer. That's how I do it. It depends on the situation, right? So, but this is the entry point. That's how I look for entry points. So now we're going to a view of what happened. So here we go. As you can see, market started to move and sit in here before. That's what we're looking, right? But we're going better to go, of course, on the 30 minutes chart and have a look before placing the orders on the smaller chart time frames. So here we go about 5:30. You see, that's the channel. It didn't go too far from the level, went a little bit down, right? Went a little bit up. So it's the channel is would be like a little bit like this, right? Because the first I was using is that candle and those candles. So you can see market moved in here, sitting, and before 6 o'clock it could possible be to place the orders, okay, like 5:30 even 6. So pending order, counting 20 pips, right? Placing the pending order here, and the same down, moving 20 pips and placing the order here. So it's a little bit more, could be like 22 pips because of the spreads right now, a little bit wider. But in the quieter market, it's not as bad. So 20 usually. With the news events, a little bit maybe increase of the pips. So roughly, let's say here. So that would have been 2 orders, and that's it. And then it's just waiting time when it's going to trigger. So you can see nothing happened. So what I'm doing, I'm waiting, of course, for American session. If there will be news, maybe during the European session. No news, maybe a little bit light. Early news, usually we have news like at 12:30 GMT, then it could be news 1:30, 4:30. American session opens at that time. You can see we've had like with some a bit of American session opens. You see the market jumped out of the channel and it's moved 20, didn't move close at about 20 pips. You see, that's why I'm placing the 20 pips to avoid these movements. Okay, if it would have been only 10, I would have been in a bad trade. I didn't want to be in that trade because you see, the whole week it would have been sitting and floating, and I would be struggling trying to get out from it or close it with lost. That's why I'm placing 20 pips. Okay, so just to avoid this jumps out from the channel. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's how I presume you would understand this. So that's the channel. If it didn't get out from anywhere from the channel, placing the orders. If it did get out, then cancel it. We are not going for it. Okay, so but you see it went back in, and for the next day when we're going to cancel our orders or turn off, I'm using the EA, is for going into Asian session. I don't like to trade in Asian session because I don't watch it. I sleep usually at time, but depends again where I am. So for Asia session, as I'm saying, roughly if there are no news for US, I would wait for 4-5 o'clock, something like this, GMT time, maybe up to 6 o'clock, and that's it. And then I just cancel them, or a bit earlier, depends if I'm like I can watch it or wherever, a little bit earlier, because there is no point to keep it if there is nothing in the air about like political news or economical news, nothing, right? So and then once again looking into the next day, see that we had the same channel. So that's why for the next day I showed you the same channel again, resuming. So we would open the market, open the sessions again, and the European sessions. You see it's come out a little bit, but because we had a really big good channel from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so we would resume just placing, leaving the orders, place the orders again 5 o'clock in the morning, before 5-6 o'clock in the morning. Just you place the orders. So here would have been your trade, which is about 40 pips, so 10 pips, profitable trade. So that's how I work with it. Okay, so that's 10 pips profitable trade. So now just what I wanted to show you also, you see, for example, I left it like this, but if we didn't have this consolidation, and let's say market only would have started to consolidate like this, right? So it started to go in here, and so possibly without this, right? Without that, let's say we don't have this something like previous or wherever, and looking at this area, so if it would have started to consolidate like you see, like here, I would have placed around here, and if it would have jumped out like that during Asian session, then I would have canceled that. I will not go for it. I mean, I know it went up, but this was lucky, let's say. But with the strategy I use, if it would be something like this, we do not use it, okay? Here you saw it was a nice consolidation all the way through, and then it's continued all the day, and of course we would have expected a continuation of either do it because we already been here before, right? And you see it's moved, didn't even touch our area, it's moved in the same area. You have to consider that too, which I told you about before. So I would have expected you will understand that it could have been a small movement. So that's why if it would have been happening something like that, then of course there would be no trade. Okay, so I just want you to understand this. So we only had this because of this good consolidation previously. So you can see then afterwards I didn't give you anything here because you can see how close it is to one and to another area. That's why I didn't give you anything on what's a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I didn't see a good opportunities to close. So as you can see, and it's worked. Next, I gave you on Thursday, and same as you can see. What happened is nothing, right? I had which we call it, started to consolidate, and I was hoping it will just have to continue consolidation, but look how it's narrowing and went up, so you will not use it anymore. Okay, so as you can see, when it started to have a consolidation, so that's where I wanted to have a channel, and you can see how it just had a small, very little tiny one. So that's why this is not a channel. See how far it's walked away from that area. So this is no good for trading. That was good because it was sitting around here, see, around it. And this one started to go up, and with opening of during Asian session, it just was consolidating around here. So not good. So that's why you wouldn't use it. Okay, so I'm going to remove that. So I'm just trying to point out, we were waiting Friday news, That's why I didn't want to go on Thursday. I was waiting for Friday, hopefully that non-farm will have a good movement, but nothing happened. Anyway, well, of course, if you would have used that level and placed 20 pips, you wouldn't be getting into this trade. Well, depends, like I'm saying, depends how strong the movement, how big the spread would have been. Otherwise, you see it's 20, so it could have touched you or could have not touched you, but it wouldn't be a trade, okay? Because as you can see, it didn't have a channel. There is no channel. It's not a channel, okay? So that's what I'm trying to show you. So if it would be channel somewhere, it would have like started to have consolidations in here. So this could have been the possible beginning of a channel, of the new channel. So that area would have looked, but not this one. So I'm just trying to explain to you how to understand it and how to read it properly, okay? So when I'm giving you this, and if it's like going like this and not creating a good channel, then don't go for it. You see here now, that's what we're doing for this coming week, right? It started to create again a very nice and little small channel. And of course, once again, we'll see if it's not going to be. And remember now, the channels, they're up to 20 to 30 pips width. If it's very narrow, less than 5 pips or something, I do not go for it either. So 10 pips is still okay, but still a little bit too small, because in usual times now, 15-minute chart, it's not as good trading as it used to be. Before the news events, yes, I go up to 5-minute chart, but on the usual events, so now I'll trade on 30-minute 1-hour charts and looking for channels up to 20 to 30 pips, but also no bigger, except gold, of course. But best to do is about around 20 pips channel at this moment for me. So it started to have a consolidation. So of course we will see how wide it's going to be, how close. You see it's about 40 pips up to the next area and enough area to come back, and also to the previous about 30. So we will see how much it will consolidate. And will it do Monday? Will it have any movement? So of course on Monday in the evening I will give you my screenshots once again in the groups. So bigger picture, you can see it's all the same as doing a daily chart. So we wouldn't have that other level crossing, which is has to be here and here. So you can see we're here. Of course, this week the main for me would be European news, right, on Wednesday. And of course, it's going to be also important for pound. Maybe some news with Brexit, but Wednesday is quite important day. And as non-farm also didn't work well for dollar, so I would believe that market now going to prepare for FOMC. So check the calendar and your times, okay? Your time zones, your time in your terminals, and where you are, which country you are. So of course here, that's what the main part. So maybe Monday, Tuesday, I don't know, waiting time to see what's going to happen, how market prepare for Wednesday. Quite good movements happens on Tuesday, but because the news on Wednesday, I don't know, we'll see. But on Monday, I'll have a look, and you will see my screenshot. So in the bigger picture, so here we are still. We can either maybe we can return in this area, right, from that little small movement here, from that little channel, I mean, or we can go down, who knows, somewhere in the middle, get to the next channel. Or before the news, maybe we will consolidate a little bit in this area. Well, but it's not much time to consolidate, so that's why breakout would be earlier than waiting for coming in this area. So, I mean, could be going up or could be going down. So we'll see how strong the news are going to be. Possibly, that's what I'm expecting, but you never know. So, and also, if it will continue the way down and will break this area, I can move this channel, as you can see, right, by using this bottom. At this moment, I'm only using these 3 tops, but I can move just using these 2 tops and using these 2 bottoms, and that movement could be stopped around here, right, and maybe consolidation in here and then turn around, who knows, or just go to the next. So, but at this moment, I can leave it like this. It just would be a bit better use if it will start to consolidate, but otherwise there is no even point of it, to be honest, because if it will move and break that level, it can go and just be stopped by this, and they're pretty much in the same area, right, with the trend channel. So, well, that's pretty much it for me for euro dollar. You saw daily charts from me. If you haven't subscribed, go join the groups, and I hope you understand now how to use it. I know the ones of you who's following me a long time, you know. But if you are just a first-time visitor, I'm trying to, you see, explain to you in details. Now we're going to pound dollar. Remember, it was Brexit in the air, but with all this softer, not softer news, we've been going up, down, up, down, up, down, as you can see. So, but not a huge movement yet. And obviously, 10th of April and 12th of April going to be quite important dates. And can be some movements, and who knows, maybe also American news. But the main for pound at this moment is all around Brexit. So here we were, right, on Monday, and as you can see, I was saying to you, wait, consolidation here or there, nothing happened. You see, okay, it went up, then it went around this area, dropped. I didn't want to give anything for pound because I didn't like how it dropped and come back and started have very small. It was nothing for me to give you because it was right here. You see, only a few little candles. And remember, I like to look a little bit further, like from 6 o'clock in the evening of the previous day. And this happened like 9 o'clock because we had a lot of news after 6 o'clock for pound. It was all reaction on news about Brexit. You see, that happened about 9 o'clock of GMT. So that's what I'm saying. Because it happened so late, I was not sure what to do in here, and that's why I didn't want to draw anything. And as you can see, the reaction on the news were not exactly, could have been no reaction on we opened the European session, London session, but waiting for some Brexit news. And so this happened. Then on Monday, Tuesday, I gave you this channel. Again, as you can see, this started to have a bit of consolidation, so that channel could have been used for placing the pending orders, except it's not very good one. I would probably not use it. I didn't use it myself because I didn't feel it was good enough, but this was a possibility and another small profitable trade with 10 pips, as you can see. So that's what I'm saying, guys. When I'm giving you this, it's up to you. You decide. Well, you see it sits still inside, and well, it's up to you if you want to take that risk. So as for me, I thought it would have been a little bit risky because you see, again, this part before the market move was a little bit too far from the bottom or area of the channel. Well, at the same time, it could have been looking like a pennant a bit, right? So it could have been used as a pennant. So that's what I'm saying. It's up to you. Take a risk or wait a bit better opportunities to get in. But that's the highlighted area and another profit. So the next day, I didn't want to trade for Thursday. I wanted to wait for Friday for the good news, but obviously you can see, again, you see I didn't like it much. It started to create something and had a good drop. Well, anyway, so I missed that. And on Friday, I gave you this area. And well, here we go. Again, started to have a consolidation. You see it from about 4 o'clock GMT. Had not bad. But the movement started to happen during the Asian, wherever this Asian, Australian session. You see it come out. So once again, if that happens, then there is no trade. Okay, we don't go for it. So that's how I do it. We don't. I mean, even if you would have tried to trade 10 pips, you could have taken. But once again, it could have been just 20 pips movement or 21 pip movement. So that's why you see it started nice consolidation, but it's jump out in the Asian session, right? Jump out before 5 o'clock, let's say GMT, then we don't use it. So that's I'm just trying to explain to you how to understand it. And well, that's pretty much it. And you see, for the news event, they didn't prepare well enough. So that's how to look how it was this week. So and for this coming week, once again, all the same news, all the same levels. So waiting for it started to a little bit narrowing right from the tops. You see, it started to narrowing down a bit. Maybe finally, well, it will maybe back to this level or back to that level. All these, so all the levels are staying the same, and I will try to post every evening once again my highlighted areas. Okay, but at this moment it's the same picture, and waiting for some news events. Australian dollar. Okay, so Australian dollar, we were here on Monday. You see, that's the bit wide consolidation. I gave you this area. I don't remember, to be honest, if I gave it something like this or a little bit higher. Anyway, you see the movements That's what I'm saying. It happened during whatever Asian Australian session, which at night for me, and of course that would have been no trade for me. And if you see something like this, obviously you don't place any trades, any orders, because before European session it's already gone. So if it was a news event for Australian dollar, if you are you don't sleep, you are in these time zones, then of course you could have started to use this channel and place your orders for trading the news event, but not for Asia, European or America. So that's it, it's gone. So we're canceling it. But look at this. Remember, I didn't give Monday, Tuesday again for Wednesday. I just gave simple levels, the same snapshot. If I just place a snapshot, that means I'm waiting for next consolidation and go into the next areas. If there is nothing like for me, that means I'm just waiting for it to go either here and then start to consolidate, or go in either here and start consolidate. That's it. That's why if there are no highlighted areas like this, so we're just waiting. I can't give you anything. So you see, then also Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I also said from Wednesday to Thursday, I didn't give anything because I was not going to trade on Thursday, waiting for Friday. And I said that I made notes that all the pairs are in the same around the same areas level. So you would have just yourself, you would have seen it started to consolidate once again, and you could have just draw your own level, just like I'm always telling you to do it yourself. And here we go. You could have for, let's say, for Thursday, that would have been your channel. You see, it's a perfect channel, and also it comes out pretty much with the previous level, right? So kind of showing a quite good area. But you see, you could have placed your pending orders, nothing would have happened. You see, it moved slightly, came back, and continued. And that's why I gave you a new channel already on Friday, on Thursday night for Friday, and I hoped that the movements will happen on non-farm, but nothing happened again. As you can see, absolutely nothing. This is very small movement again, you see. So our 20 pips would have once again 20 pips up, 20 pips down. You would have just canceled them after nothing's happened. For the new coming week, nothing happened here. So you see, that's how I trade it, that's how I go. So no trades would have been done. And this week we were waiting for Wednesday. This hopefully it will continue slowly, and we will be able to go for some good trades, and something will happen on Wednesday. Maybe some news for Australian dollar. So check out the calendar. So what I'm waiting for, if it will have that small consolidation, maybe like on Monday and for Tuesday around here. I don't know. I would presume it might be more sitting in here in this area, but I would just concentrate on the news. Let's go back on the daily chart once again. So it might go and consolidate around this level, okay, preparing. Maybe in this area would be a bit wider or sit like this. So I would look in here. If not, if it will go down, for example, maybe it will start to have some nice consolidation around this area. So we will see. We need Monday, Tuesday, right? So hopefully nothing huge happens. It will have a good consolidation around. Possibly, if nothing would happen, I would expect a bit more consolidation around this area, which would be a pretty good area for placing your orders. Okay, and like I'm saying, it can go either direction. Once again, it's very strong, go up, or another go and come back down and still sits in this triangle. But who knows, maybe the news will be strong and will finally break it. We will see. But that's we're still sitting and getting very close to some kind of a good movement possibly. So maybe just move it a little bit further, a bit closer, like to here. But right now, just leave it like this, and we will see. So that's with Australian. Dollar yen. Okay, dollar yen looks like that's how we were. I gave you pretty much this big triangle because I was hoping. So when I giving you something like this, that means I'm waiting for a pair to go. I'm not meaning like you have to place your pending order straight away here or there. That means I'm waiting for pair because you see it's a bigger time frame. 4-hour time frame. I do not trade it. So if I'm giving you bigger time frames pictures, that means I'm waiting maybe for a few days to sit in here, especially before the news event. I was hoping it will consolidate inside between these two levels. It didn't. You see, it's come out. So now I'm leaving it all the same. I will remove it at this moment for now because from that I want for the market either go and have consolidation here. We still have that top, so it might continue to a little bit high and consolidate here before the news event, or it might return into this area And that would be perfect if it will come back into this area and consolidate here. It might not happen. It might go back into this area, channels area. So that's why at this moment I just quickly will show you once again how I was using this. I gave you a little bit of that level, remember, but you have to look yourself also, because like I'm saying, I can't really explain a lot. It's going to take me a lot of time to do all of these things. You have to understand that level I showed you here, that we are consolidating in the channel, and it may continue in there. But remember, looking for placing the pending orders buy would have been better, as you have 40 pips going up, for example. But placing the order sell, you have to decide, because it's very close to the next levels. That's why all the levels are in the same place. So you see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's come out and start to consolidate here. Even if you place the orders above, it's still 20 pips. You would not be in the trade. So, and then remember on the weekend, on Thursday, for Friday, I showed you the areas where I was saying I would wait because I removed which we were right here, there. So I removed this and draw a channel. So I said on Friday I'm waiting market either come back in that area and I will use these levels, right, or go back in yellow area, because it was right here, so I didn't know where it will start consolidation. But look, that's I'm giving you a good example. You see it started to consolidate above the yellow level area. So of course before the market before the events you would move and try to draw your channel, see if it will consolidate above. Okay, so you also can do it. And so that would have been your channel before the news event non-farm. So, and once again I placed the orders, but nothing's happened. These movements were very, very small. As you can see, it's nothing. It's like 10 pips movement. Okay, so I felt like, yeah, okay, to the next level back, it could have moved 30 pips, but it didn't. It didn't come out from that level channel a little bit, and didn't even reach the next. So, but that would have been your channel. That would have been the channel for before the trading news events. Okay, nothing's happened. So nothing's happened. You just cancel it. I canceled it, and that's it. Now I'm waiting for this week, and hopefully FOMC or some news for yen will make movements. But the important levels for me would be Wednesday, unless, like I'm saying, there is something else. Who knows? Something else maybe on Tuesday. I haven't checked exactly, because it can be political news, right? And they could be sudden news. But at this moment with economical, we're waiting for FOMC, but not exactly the FOMC changing the interest rate. Remember about some comments they're going to make. Okay, so that's you need to consider. So that's pretty much it, guys. If the market we're waiting, if it will sit here, we'll go a little bit up, maybe it will jump into this area, maybe it will go back to this area, but all the levels are all the same, staying. Dollar card, okay, so the same position with dollar card. I gave you all these levels. I gave you this highlighted areas, and except you should have understand yourself with those levels, you would look for consolidations around them. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to tell you. You wait for consolidations around them. So on Monday, for example, I had a trade because from Monday it started to consolidate. It gave me a not bad channel. Remember, it gave me, and I decided to risk it and go on Monday, small trade. Here it is. Then on Monday evening, I gave you that little channel, and you go on a smaller chart just to see before, of course, dollar CAD, and you would expect a bit of movements during American session, but sometimes happens during European session. So that's why, let's say, again, before like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, you're looking at it, okay, it's come out, but then it came back. Look, you see it jumped out and then jumped back. So you could have used this for placing orders buy and placing orders sell. So you see it didn't happen during European sessions, come out, but you're still keeping it because it's still there. And you see at American session, it started to move. And here we go, you got your trade. So of course with this kind of pairs you can possibly avoid European sessions, but then it's going, you see that it started to create before European session opens. That's why you can look at it like this. So then you can see it went up here, which I highlighted the areas where I would presume it will go. I also showed you the area here, so I thought, okay, if it will go up, some consolidation might go to the next level, which it didn't. You see it didn't give anything, absolutely nothing. So that's why Monday, Tuesday, nothing was here. you see absolutely nothing. So we would have waited for consolidation here, but it didn't happen. So that's why we need to wait for the next day. It started to have some consolidation, but it's not good because well, it's already moved, right? So it's moved from the evening, went down, didn't give anything. So I wouldn't have used it, nothing. But I highlighted to you to see where it's going to do some consolidations, right? So, and then finally, it's returned back into this area once again. It started to have consolidation for, as expected for Friday. Remember, I was telling you that I wait for Canadian news and American news, important. But look at this. That's what happened. So at European session, it's London session, it jumped out. So before Canadian and American news just jump out, and there was no way to place any orders. Absolutely no way. So for maybe you could have tried to place your orders just using that channel. Yes, you could, and you would have. Well, depends. You could have come out with 10 pips profit. Depends how it would have worked. What broker you're using and what the spread would have been. I mean, the two opportunities could have been to take 10 pips. Yes, could have been possible to do it here, but as it jumped out, I remember to place orders before the news events to look at the 5-minute chart and see the best if it sits in a good channel, if it comes out, and to see 5-minute chart if it prepares. But nothing. Even if you go on the 5-minute chart, you will see that before the news events, nothing happened. So for me, no trade. But for you, would have been 10 pips. Who knows? Could have been right now in the floating, which would have been break even. So that's the dollar card. And what, of course, this week, with possibility of the news, it looks like we are going into a bit of the triangle, right? So that means that this could continue, go up, maybe consolidation between these two levels, right? This area and then next here, who knows? It might create, it's created two tops and two bottoms. So of course, remember the third could be a breaking point. So it either can break or could also turn around and back into this area. So that's we're going to look. I would going to look at it as a triangle at that point, and to see how it's going to, where it's going to go for before the news events are going to happen. Okay, so if it will go down next to this next level. So, and we'll see. Maybe we're still sitting in a trend channel. Yeah, there's a uptrend we have. Who knows? Maybe it will smash everything, break out, and go higher. But in my daily charts, I will show you where I am and where I place my orders. So at this moment, it's nothing in here. Of course, I wouldn't wait because we come out. That was our area. It came out, and now it's here. Of course, it might have consolidation, like continue next here, or it might, of course, to turn around. You never know. So to turn around, and we'll see. Maybe again, it will start consolidation here. See how close it's going to be to the next level here to go for a smaller trade, smaller, yeah, for smaller pips again, like for 10 pips only. You can see it's roughly 30 pips all the way. We do have it. So that's pretty much it, guys. So hopefully it will all prepare good for some news. Gold, we are looking now at, remember, I given you again on the 4-hour charts, once again, just like on the dollar yen. If I'm giving you big charts, actually I made a note that I've given it to you, but I'm waiting for gold to go into the narrowing part before the news events on Friday. So, and it was pretty much sitting until Thursday. Unfortunately, see on Thursday it's already made a movement. Okay, so it's made this movement right here, which you see there's a possible place orders buy, pending orders, and use this channel, which level is a channel a bit as for selling, but you see the small movement onto the border of the triangle pretty much. So would have go, but I was a bit disappointed when it's happened. So that's why when afterwards I removed the triangle, and before the news events on Friday, I highlighted you this area as a channel. So presuming you obviously understand that we had jumps out from it and it didn't go too far. So you see, that's what happened before the news events. It went just down to here, and it's pretty much, well, also was a no-go for me, because with gold you have to be really careful, and I do like a big channels. So could have placed orders from here, yeah, with that movement, could possibly get into the trade, who knows, come out with the profit, or just sit in the floating. Also, it depends how would I mean, if like placing orders, pending orders, sell from that 20 pips below, so you would have probably come out with 10 pips, right? Like I'm saying, depends how big the movement, how big the spread was, and what the conditions of the broker you're using. So could have come out with profit, could have been sitting floating. but for me it would have been no go because it's nothing. I mean, could have tried to use this little channel before the news event. Yeah, could have done a bit of this. So, but that's the channel at this moment I'm looking at, and of course, hopefully for this coming week, it will make some movements. If it will sit in that, well, probably I will use that channel, maybe a bit of correcting it and putting it a bit of triangle once again, if it will narrow down more, okay? Out of the channel narrowing down more, then maybe it will be a bit of this wedge, right? A little bit of the wedge again, or pennant, like as you saw, because you see on the bigger picture, you see it could go like this, right? And using that part also, maybe a little bit of going slightly like this. We still have the swings to consider, but maybe it will come out and go a little bit lower, like going here, have a bit of consolidation, which I think it would sit in here a bit before the news will come. But you see, it's been consolidating for quite a while, so that's why I have to be really careful if you decide to trade the news events, because we have the swings and it can get you into a bad trade. Be very careful, but I will see if nothing happens before Wednesday, it will consolidate, so I'll go for trade. Of course, with opening the market, it can jump, so we'll see. Maybe consolidation's a little bit higher, maybe it will jump down, who knows, it can jump to the next level. You never know, because on Monday and Tuesday could be any news, any political news. We expecting some things, but what happens can be whatever. So that's my view of gold. Now going to Euro Pound. Euro Pound is the same, okay. Reaction on the pound news also this week. We'll look for it. So you see it was here, didn't give anything, jumped down, then jumped back. Nothing was for me here, too small. Up again, down. So this is where I started to give you that channel. So that's the only possible channel to use. You see on Monday, on Monday, Tuesday, on Tuesday evening, we started to have consolidation, right? I think pretty much I gave you something small area, something like that, with just using this, but it was very small also, but a bit closer to the level, so that's why I could have possibly go. I also was thinking that I have a little bit of this area, right, and that's why I gave you a little bit. So you see, when it went up once again, so it would be nothing. It would be absolutely nothing. There is no channel. It went up, and there is no way to draw it in here. So that's why you wouldn't use it, okay? It wouldn't be anything for you for on Monday. Not Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning before the event. So, for example, for me, you see, I would have missed this trade. I mean, it wasn't. I don't know how big it was. You see, it's only like 20. Yeah, I see 24 pips. That's what I'm saying. That's why you need to have a good channel. See, it went up too close. That's why you don't go for it. It's moved a little bit longer, yes, a little bit more, but why would you risk? That's why wait longer, okay? So that's why how you cancel it, guys. So if I draw it for you, do not please take it literally. So that's it is when you look at it, right? So it's like starts here. Do not look at it. You have to wait. What's going to happen if the after the Asian session? How would it consolidate? Okay, if not happy with, you see it went something like this, you can't draw anything here, okay? You can't. That's why wait longer. So this is where you would wait longer. That's why I wrote that for Thursday, all the pairs around the same level. So you could have just draw yourself something like this, based on the previous also channel, right? So you could have looked at it and draw it like this and use that as placing pending orders buy and placing pending orders sell, or use that levels for sell, which is a very would have been a bit wide, too wide for me. For example, you see it's like 40 pips, 30 up after 30 40, but I'm saying I look for 20 pips would be more ideal, up to 30 pips maximum. Don't like to go for bigger, but except like pounds, like Euro Pound, Pound Yen, Gold, they creating wider channels. That's why I don't really like these pairs as much when they create too wide to trade. So of course now, so you see it started to sit in here, so of course I would wait for some consolidation around this area. So I'm not going to draw it now. You have to understand it yourself and wait for Monday, because like I'm saying, on Monday I probably not going to trade unless there will be something in the air about Brexit. Who knows what they're going to come out with. They will announce, so watch. I send you links where to follow the Brexit news. So of course I will look at this area. If there is nothing, it would be, I will just sit and wait for, remember, the 10th of April, some meeting with Euro Parliament, right? They EU, they're going to make decisions, some decisions with pound about England, not pound, about England, about Brexit. So it's in the air. Follow the news. So waiting for here. Possibly if there is something good, hopefully it will move to this area. If not, possibly go back to here. Again, consolidation maybe above. Best would be go back in this area. From that would be best go back up, or at least in the middle between these areas. And of course next to trend channel and another trend channel area. Okay, so for the huge bigger moves, of course, we have next levels, right? Another level up and here, and below the other levels. So that's pretty much it. So looking in the same levels. Pound yen. We were here, so it's Monday. Waiting for consolidation, nothing happened. Yeah, it's just broke and continue way up. Like I'm saying again, you see, it's risky to place the orders, but you know, who knows? So it went up, didn't give anything here, went down again, very small, nothing here, and this is where I gave you the next, where I would have looked. You know, I don't usually trade this channel, this pair, but here would have been the possible area. Okay, but like I'm saying again, for me, it wouldn't be a very strong channel. You see here, but it had here, a little bit here, went up a little bit, so a little bit away. So it could have been used, okay? It could have been used, but not as strong, I would say, for me. But then afterwards, you see, it started to move here. I didn't see anything once again to give because it was a little bit messy in here. Well, it's dropped back down, and this is where I gave you another area to look at, which is also would have been no trade for me. Okay, so the possible, this looks better than this part. Okay, so this would I would have, for example, to choose between these two, I would have go for this one, but I wouldn't go for that one because it started to consolidate. But you see, on an Asian session, it just started to move, and that's it. You missed it, so you don't use it. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. That's how you look at it. If you see it's nice, you go. If it's like already started to move, no trade. Better not to. I mean, it still can get you in profit, but it also can get you in a loss. And something like this would be nice. I mean, okay, I didn't want to draw here, like I said, because it was right here. But you see how nicely it started to sit. But like it was too close to that level, for example, even if it broke a little bit, it came back. But this something like this is really nice. But I like something like that closer to be near the important levels. Okay, so now once again, it's also looking like a picture from dollar, pound dollar, which is also, you see, we have the stops, which is narrowing down, so it looks like it's preparing for possible come out once again. So maybe before some news, I don't know, by 10th, or who knows, any Brexit news, it might have consolidation here continue, which I don't think it has enough time, and it has a really nice crossing here. I would think it might break here, but like I'm saying, if it's going to, we have 10th April and also 12th, right? But 12th, if it's going to be voted no on 10th, then it could go into, who knows, to 12th for hard Brexit, I believe. If not, then if something decided on 10th, then 12th probably ain't going to be is important. So just need to know what they're going to say in the news. So that's why I'm looking, maybe to go back in here for a smaller trade. Of course, can go into this, and from here can go up somewhere in the middle once again or to the top, and then continue to the next level. From here also we have the next level. So we all have, we still have pretty much the same levels which you can use. Well, that's it, guys. A very long video. I was trying to explain to you how to use my screenshots which I gave you. So remember, it's not exactly where I'm showing you the areas. It doesn't mean you have to place pending orders, buy and sell straight away. You have to wait for the next day and see how it moves during Asian session. And if it is not as good, the channel is not as good, then better not to go for it. It's up to you. It's all your decisions, guys. That's why you have to decide it. I don't go for all the trades, as you can see. That's why I can't give you exactly entry points, but they're pretty much very close and very accurate. You see, this week, if you would follow, it would have been all the winning trades. Well, like I'm saying, it would be a bit of, depends with dollar, CAD and gold. How would you go for it? You could have come out on those trades also with 10 pips profits, or you could have just been floating at that moment. That's what I'm saying. It all depends on different conditions of what's the broker you're using, what the time zone, how big the account, what the stops you're using. But that's pretty much it. Like 5, 6 profitable trades. I think it would have been a perfect result for you guys. So that's pretty much it. It was a good profitable week for me, so hopefully this week also will be good. And with news events, like I'm saying, be careful. And if you're not sure, better not to trade, just stay away. So that's like I'm saying, I will see if there will be good opportunities, then we'll go for it, and I'll try to, of course, show you, post the screenshots every evening once again. If there are no screenshots from me, probably because I have technical issues, which can happen. So I had some problems with my computer lately, so that's why I'm just warning you now, okay, guys? So it could be, but hopefully everything will go smooth. So happy trading. Don't forget to subscribe, like. I see you next week. Bye, everyone.